Hello, ¿cómo estamos? Hi, how are you? I wanted to do a video about apartment hunting in LA because I see a lot of negative reviews and negative videos about moving to LA. And I've been living here for the last 8 years, so I wanted to share how did I find the apartment that I'm in right now, what other apartments I saw, what it's like to apartment hunt in LA, what are the prices, where I previously lived. So I'm originally from Venezuela, as you can probably tell. Of course no, because I'm a white Latina. I don't represent my country very well. When I first moved to the States, I lived in New York for a year, which was amazing. I love New York. If you ask me, New York or LA, I would always say New York. I don't live in New York because it's super expensive, and also it is a very hard life that you live there. And I wanted something a little bit more, with an easier pace. So that's why I came to LA. I've been living in LA for like 7-8 years. I don't know anymore. That would make me kind of a local, but I don't feel that way. I'm just happy and grateful to be here and to be welcome in this city. I am not the usual person on the internet that is gonna tell you like, oh, come here, move to LA, or that is gonna tell you, oh, LA is horrible, don't move here, everybody's scared. That's not me. Okay, you do what you want. I don't think that everybody needs to move to LA. LA is a beautiful city. It's a very cultural city. That is something that I feel very lucky to be exposed to every day. It has a lot of neighborhoods, and at the beginning when I first moved here, I lived in West Hollywood. I mean, I understand why people live in West Hollywood. I certainly was near to everything, to coffee shops, to the core stores, to Target, to the hardware store, also events, like everything that happens in the heart of Los Angeles, the main events or whatever, or the cool trendy things are mostly happening in West Hollywood, right? But what I didn't like about West Hollywood, it was that the traffic to go in and go out of West Hollywood is insane. Like only top by Santa Monica. I would never live in Santa Monica because it's so difficult to exit and come back into those neighborhoods. And it's not that like, I cannot take the traffic, I don't forget where I'm from. I'm from Chacaito, so I'm used to traffic, right? It's super unpractical, and I do think that the neighborhood is not made for you to leave. It's made for you to stay. And I realized in the 3 years that I was living in West Hollywood that I prefer to have easy access to the highway because I like to go to Laguna Beach, I like to go to Malibu, to Newport Beach, to Manhattan Beach. I like to go to the mountain, I go to Big Bear as soon as it gets a little bit snowy. I love to go to the valley, I know that it has a bad rep, but I really like to go to the valley because I can go to the biggest Target and the greatest home goods. So I realized that I wanted to live in a neighborhood that would make it easy for me to leave and come back. And that was not West Hollywood. Also, the prices you pay when it comes to rent in West Hollywood, you're paying for the location. And if you don't like the location, like me, you are paying in vain, right? That is why I decided to start apartment hunting and to look for something different in a new neighborhood, not too far away, still within LA County, right? But I wanted that it would have easy access to the highway. I wanted to be within my budget, which was from $2,000 to $2,500 approximately the rent. That's as much as I could do. I also wanted to have a washing machine inside of the apartment. That was so important for me because both in New York and the first 3 years in LA, I didn't have washing machine. I also wanted a parking spot, and I wanted newer appliances because I knew that I was paying in West Hollywood mostly for the location, and I didn't really have like new appliances or a very pretty bathroom. So those were like the things in my wish list, right? I started to look around, and the first neighborhood that I looked, it was Koreatown. I spent a lot of time in Koreatown as well. I love H Mart, I love California Market, love Korean barbecue. You can find me in the beauty skincare stores. So I have a couple of like work related things in Koreatown as well. There's a lot of offices there. So I really like the neighborhood. I know it very well. I don't really like the parking situation, but well, I cannot tell you the building because I know some people that live there and I don't want to like invade their privacy or whatever, but I look into like a newer built kind of apartment. I was very excited about it because it had like new appliances, it had laundry in unit. It was very much what I wanted in the terms of my wish list, and also it had amazing views. Even though it was a little bit small when it comes to square footage, the views were amazing, were the views that like you dream of, right? So that was apartment, let's call it the apartment with the pretty views. Then I started to move a little bit more towards downtown LA because I know that downtown LA has like a bad rep, and a lot of people are scared of Skid Row and think that like all downtown is Skid Row. But first of all, like, you know, homeless people are still humans, and I probably have way more in common with them than to anybody that is in Beverly Hills, number one, you know, and they're still people, and I have definitely go in and out of Skid Row, even like some work-related errands. Downtown is not only Skid Row, right? And homeless people are still people. And I have to say, I do like this, you know, metropolitan New York look that downtown has, you know, and also it reminds me a lot of Caracas. In a weird way, you know. Caracas is very much like a city with a lot of buildings and it's kind of dirty, so it reminds me a lot of home. And also in the southern part of downtown starts to be a little bit more Latino, right? And it's great. Like I start to see like my panaderias and my Latin people everywhere. So I do like downtown LA. Also because not a lot of people like the location, the prices are better. You can get more square footage for cheaper, and there is a lot of like new buildings. So I wanted to like look around downtown LA, and the first building that I found in downtown LA, again, I'm not gonna say the name, but let's call it the Deluxe apartment, because it was definitely, I was surprised because it was within my budget, but the whole building, it was like two huge, beautiful, newly done towers, and everything was brand new. I would be like the first renter there. And also the management people were so nice, so kind, and it had laundry in unit, everything was brand new. It reminded me a lot of like the new builds in Caracas that have like porcelain floors and concrete looking walls. So without being industrial, it reminded me a lot of that. I really liked that apartment. It also had a ton of amenities. My previous apartment didn't have that many amenities. It only had a pool. And it was the same price as this one. So that tells you that like mostly of what you pay in West Hollywood is the location, right? I wanted to be in a prettier looking building in a location that not a lot of people like. So this seems like a great fit. And interesting is that when I was leaving that building, I got lost a little bit within downtown LA, and I stumbled upon the third apartment that we're seeing. There was like a big sign outside that said that like there were some offers when it came to the lease, and that is a good tip. Sometimes I drive around and I remember certain places. That's how I have found like very beautiful buildings, even though like some of them they were not within my budget. For example, in Los Feliz, I found like a pretty building that I really like, but it is out of my budget. In Echo Park too, it's all like driving around, looking and seeing if there's signs of like availability, and sometimes going in and seeing if it's a possible match. So randomly, I found this third building that, let's call it the loft, the third apartment, the loft, because that is what I saw. They told me that they had studios. I was looking for a one bedroom, but I was flexible when it came to the studio, because sometimes you get more square footage in a studio for the same or less of a price than a one bedroom, you know, and like sometimes I think like, what am I paying for the door in the one bedroom? So give me the studio and I pay less. But they told me that they had a couple of studios and they had some that were a loft. I was very intrigued by it, and when I saw them, I was in love. I was like, oh my God, no way. It's kind of like a duplex, right? A full loft. Very industrial, a little bit too industrial for my liking maybe, but it had the laundry unit, the newly renovated bathroom, and the newer or newish kind of appliances. It had some molding and it was kind of charming. I really liked that the floor was cement because that was gonna make my life easier. You know what? The porcelain in the deluxe apartment was making me kind of nervous. But this concrete floor in the loft, you know, it looked like it was easy to clean. I really like also the tall ceilings, the double windows. It gets a ton of light in. It was beautiful. So I did a lot of thinking. Usually when I go on apartment hunting, I do it way before my lease is up on my current apartment, that I have time to like think about it, maybe even come back. Usually leasing agents are very nice. Don't let anybody pressure you, you know, into getting an apartment. I know it's a very stressful situation, but you really need to like step back and think about it, you know, so that like you can make a decision that then you will feel good on, because at the end, you know, we are in these places for months and months and months, so we should feel comfortable with our decisions. So, which apartment did I choose? Did I choose the Koreatown apartment? Did I choose the deluxe, beautiful downtown LA apartment, or the loft? I did choose the loft. I imagine that you saw it coming. I couldn't help myself. I saw that and I saw those stairs and I had a vision of a garland during Christmas. The price was very reasonable and I really liked the place. It was a little bit too industrial for me, a little bit. So I am super happy. I am currently living in it. Also really like the location for me. This is way better than West Hollywood for me. It works for me. So I have a lot to do to this apartment because basically right now it's a white box and I'm on a budget, so please be patient with me. I did already a video on wall molding, as you can see behind me. I did some wall molding, but I'm still working on it, making sure that I can find a way to do this wall molding within a budget, easier and renter friendly, and that I can like communicate it properly on a video. But that video is coming soon after this one. And also maybe I would do a bathroom makeover and a bedroom makeover, I'm not sure. But thank you so much for watching this video. You know, I really had fun looking at these apartments and telling you my reasoning behind why did I choose this one. And I hope that you like it and that you come back for other videos and makeovers and decoration of this new apartment. Bye bye.